Test and test it. Test it. Hi there. My name is Rohan Beve, and today we are going to be talking about the origin of gold. Okay, so have you ever wondered how did gold appear into existence? Where did it come from? I'll tell you all about that. So it happens all within a star, okay? You know stars, and they live because of this thing, because of the most simplest atom in all of the multiverse. Hydrogen atom, okay? So mainly these hydrogen atoms this is what would happen, okay? So mainly the star is comprised of a bunch of hydrogen atoms, and due to gravity, due to the cosmic forces of gravity, it squeezes these hydrogen atoms so badly it just become one clump, okay? Because of that, it basically gives a lot of light and heat, right? So it gives a burst of energy, hence light and heat, okay? But as time moves on, okay, when a star is older, it mainly uses this process called nuclear fusion, where these hydrogen atoms would smash into each other, creating new elements such as helium, carbon, and oxygen. Eventually, this process happens so the oxygen absorbs a lot of hydrogen and eventually turns into materials such as iron and nickel. Okay? So because of this, this continues to happen, right? But eventually when a star dies, well, mainly a big one, when it collapses on itself, on its inner core, it explodes this massive amount of energy called a supernova, right? So, okay? So because of that, it causes like a lot of high temperatures, and this is what happens, okay? So then there's this thing, okay? So what happens now is that a bunch of these electrons and protons will combine together to form neutrons, okay? So because of these neutrons, okay, these neutrons would get absorbed by the iron, nickel floating around, they get absorbed, and the iron would transform into various materials, perhaps gold, okay? So that's not the end of it, okay? So eventually these particles become like the new foundation for building more stars and planets. That's mainly how our planet was made. So it got clumped up and a bunch of gold came around, and eventually when it was built. So that's why when we go into the Earth's crust, we find a lot of gold, right? So how do humans, mine this gold? So they do this process called mining, okay? We humans. Okay, so once we would find the gold, right? Inside, miners would find gold. They would ship them to a factory where they would be crushed, transformed to remove all the dirt from the gold. Okay? And then they would melt the gold so that way they can remove impurities. Okay? And then they'll shape it into pure gold bars and coins. But the problem is that these processes take a lot of money, right? A bunch of money. Hence the value of gold, right? So what about creating our own gold? Because there's not much gold, right? Well, there's mainly two ways we can get more gold. Through first one being particle accelerations. Well, not accelerators. Particle accelerators. They're these machines, okay, that supposedly are creating gold, okay? So it would basically try to mimic what a star happens to create gold, okay? So it would shoot a bunch of these, neutrons at this random metal of iron, eventually waiting some time until it could turn into gold, right? But the problem is, this takes a super long time. Like it would take at least half of the universe's lifespan to get 1 gram of gold, okay? So that's really, not necessary to wait that long. So the second process is mainly fishing for gold. How can you say that? Well, mainly there are around 20 million dissolved particles of gold in the ocean, and we would use these high-tech submarines to fish them out. But again, for making these submarines and paying for them, that's a lot of money. So our best bet is through the stars, and going to space. But, well, until then, that's basically the origin of gold, and that's how it's made. And that's basically it. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!